Connecting WordPress and Microsoft 365, Azure AD, Microsoft Entra ID is very easy, especially when you're using the WPO365 plugins for WordPress. Hi, I am Marco, and in today's video I would like to show you how easy it is to create a microsite within your existing WordPress website, which is just available for users that successfully can sign in with Microsoft. So it should not be available for anyone else that just is anonymous and is just browsing my website. What I actually want is that if a user requests a page which is part of this microsite, then the user should be redirected to Microsoft. But in all other cases, users should just be able to view the content on my website. For today's video, I'll be using my demo website at WPO365connect.com. And this website is just an ordinary website, an ordinary WordPress website that can be visited by any user who is not logged on. So if I go and I would just browse as a guest and I would request the URL of the website, then it will just load. Anybody could visit this site. So, however, if I would try and visit the administration area of WordPress, then I am actually forwarded, I'm sent to Microsoft, and I can sign in with my Microsoft account. And when I do, I have access and I'm also redirected immediately to the WP admin area. And that is because I've already configured the WPO365 plugin to support OpenID Connect based single sign-on. I can check that on the single sign-on configuration page. What I also see here, and that's important for this video today, is that I selected the internet authentication scenario. Would I select here the intranet authentication scenario and I save this, and optionally I need to actually purge or refresh my server-side cache, but for this site I'm not using any. So if I select the intranet authentication scenario and I would try again to access this website as a guest, then I'm actually immediately sent to Microsoft to authenticate, because the intranet authentication scenario basically means that no user can access any post or page of your WordPress website if he or she is not authenticated. But again, today I want to show you how you can create a microsite within your existing WordPress website that is an internet website that is available to anyone out there, to any anonymous user. So I'll save my configuration, and with this in place, I can still run quickly my plugin self-test to really make sure that everything is configured as I want it to. Of course, the results of the plugin self-test very much depends also on whether you have premium add-ons or bundles installed. But I think for today, for this video, it's mostly important that we see that single sign-on is configured. To create my microsite, I want to create a custom post type so that all posts of that specific custom post type are considered a part, a post, a page of my microsite. To create this custom post type, I will use the custom post type UI plugin, which is installed like more than 1 million times, so I think it's a fairly safe bet to use. When you install and activate the custom post type UI plugin, you will get a new WP admin menu, and you can click to add or edit post types. So let's do that. And also let's make a decision. Let's say our microsite is for the employees of my company. So I create a new custom post type for employees. So I say that the slug is employee. And the plural label for it would be employees, and the singular label would then be employee. And I can leave it like that. And I can already say add post type, or I can update the options, and there are many of those, but at the end I'm always interested to see like, okay, what is supported by this post type? Maybe these are excerpts, or maybe also taxonomies and tags. So with that in place, I can click to add the post type. And I can see that it was already successful. It's also reported to me here as a success, of course, but I can see that I have a new menu here for employees. And now I can say that I want to add a new post of this type. I can also click here, new, and I can say new employee. And if I do that, if I click to add a new post of type employee, and I would say welcome, then I would kind of create a landing page for my microsite. I will copy some lorem ipsum, add this to the page so that the page is not all that empty, and I would click to publish it. And if I now view the page, I can see that this is employee and welcome. So I kind of like the URL, and I can copy this URL and I can check whether this page is currently available for guests who are not logged into our website or not. And I can see that this is the case. And this is something I don't want. So let's return to WordPress admin and continue to the WPO365 configuration pages. And here on the user registration page, I have the option to enable audiences. However, audiences is a premium feature and you would need one of the add-ons or bundles that is listed here. Well, let's have a quick look what I have installed. I go to the install plugins and I see that I have the internet version installed but not activated. So let's activate it. With the WPO365 intranet bundle activated, which will basically unlock every option that WPO365 has to offer, I will continue again back to the WPO365 configuration pages and to the user registration page here. And now I can enable audiences, and I do that. And here I have the opportunity to select a post type that require a logged in user. In other words, if you're not logged in and you would request a page of this post type, then WPO365 will take some action. Let's first of all select the post type, the employee post type. So this post type now requires a logged in user. And when the user is not logged in, what should happen then? So we redirect the user to Microsoft, or show a 404 not found page, or redirect the user to the login page. Well, let's redirect the user to Microsoft to avoid any confusion. I can also say that I want administrators to be accepted from this rule, so that administrators can still view any content on this page. You could also say maybe that editors and authors should also be accepted for this rule. I'm pretty happy with this configuration, and I need to save the configuration, which is already done now. That's great. And with this configuration in place, I would actually now like to test whether this is working as expected. So I would go back to the browser where I was viewing the page as a guest, and I would simply click to refresh the page, and I would expect that I'm being sent to Microsoft to authenticate, and that is the case indeed. Let's try and sign in as Alan at WPO365.com. Next, enter a password and click sign in. Now that I'm signed in, I can actually view the content. So that works basically as expected. But I can also see that I'm signed in as a WordPress user. And that's something I did not want. Very clearly at the beginning, I stated that my requirement is that I'm not signed in as a WordPress user. I just want my users to authenticate, but I don't want them to be mapped onto existing WordPress users. Or I don't want WPO365 to create a new user for them in case they don't exist. To achieve that, let's go back to WordPress admin. In WordPress admin, I can go to the single sign-on tab for the WPO365 configuration pages, and here I can scroll down, and for the authentication scenario, I can select Internet Auth Only. Auth Only means authentication only. It means that visitors who visit the page that requires authentication are sent to Microsoft to sign in, but they are not automatically signed in as a WordPress user. This also means that WPO365 will not attempt and create a new WordPress user in case this user does not exist in your WordPress website. And it will also not attempt to map the user who is currently signing in with Microsoft onto an existing WordPress user. Let's test. Let's go to my, let's copy the URL from my employee welcome page. Let's copy that link and let's start a new session as a guest. I closed the previous window. Let's try and navigate to this URL. And now I'm asked to sign in. I'm signing in as Alan. Enter the password as Alan. And no need to stay signed in. And now I'm signed in and I can view the content. As I can see, there is no WordPress admin bar showing at the top of the page, but I did log in. So it's fair to assume by my current configuration that I did log in, but I'm not signed in as a WordPress user. There's actually a more technical way to verify this by looking at the cookies. And for that I open the DevTools of my browser, and here I can look at the application tab and I can look at the cookies for the current website. And here I can see that there is a WordPress WPO365 logged in cookie, which looks very much like a WordPress cookie, but is not a WordPress cookie. It's a WPO365 cookie. There's also a key that you can use to burst any server-side cache if needed. The documentation will explain how that can be done. I hope I've been able to demonstrate to you how you can create, for example, a microsite within your existing website and require users to sign in with Microsoft before they can view the content of that microsite using the WPO365 auth-only scenarios. If you still have any questions, then please don't hesitate and click the blue question mark that you find on any of the WPO365 configuration page. It will open a beacon and you can use it to send us your request for support. Thank you for watching this video, and don't forget to subscribe so that you are notified as soon as we publish a new video in our YouTube channel. You'll be the first to know. Thank you.